When I say to them, you want to buy with equity already in there, you want to buy right. And so we're able to do that. And that's tax free.
Hello, Empower Nation. Welcome back to Empower Her Money podcast. I'm your host, Angela Duncan. On today's episode, I get to interview Janet Tonkins. She has been real estate investing since the 1980s. We're going to talk about what her first investment looked like, the lessons she has learned in real estate investing. We're going to talk about grandparents investing, kitty investing, her books, and so much more. Today's episode is sponsored by morewithangela.com, bringing the wealthy strategies to you every day, helping you create double-digit passive income without spending time to do the real estate research yourself. Let our team help you create double-digit passive income. Go to morewithangela.com today, schedule your car, and let me help teach you. Keep more, make more, live more. Morewithangela.com. Hi, Janet. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. How is your day today?
Oh, my day has been excellent today. I'm just getting over the flu. So today was the first day, and I absolutely thank God. I'm truly blessed to be feeling much better. I actually was in the bed all day yesterday, but I am feeling so much better today.
I'm glad you are as well, so you could be here on our show today. I would love for you to first talk out. I know we've got a lot of things in common, but talk about your story and kind of how you got to, being the coach, investor, and teacher you are today.
Okay, hi. So I am Janet Tonkins, the cash flow diva, formerly known as the Baltimore real estate diva, because I buy houses like other women buy shoes. But it wasn't always that way. I'm a product of the Christopher Columbus projects in Paterson, New Jersey, where drug abuse and addictions and all sorts of things were the norm, coming from parents who lived from paycheck to paycheck, who never owned anything. So, I've had many obstacles that's in my way. As a matter of fact, I'm not even supposed to be here today. I was engaged to my high school sweetheart at the age of 18-year-old. He went away, married somebody else, went to the Army, came back. I was absolutely devastated. He married somebody else, then later on married two other women. All three of them died, including himself. His three wives of them have died of AIDS. So I just thank God for some of the things that I've gone through. But how I actually gotten into real estate is I married my husband of today. Been married 44 years, okay? And so we married in 1981. So we wanted to purchase our first property, which we purchased in 1982. Now, I want you to hear this. And quite by mistake, what happened is we had an attorney. It was an off-market deal. And so the attorney says, okay, if you love the house, you can have it, okay? And I absolutely loved it. This was a single-family property. He said, however, my wife's nephew really wants the property, but we don't think he can qualify for the mortgage. So we don't have to sign any paperwork today. You can come back next week. I'll give you a call and we'll set up everything. Next week comes, I don't hear anything. 2 weeks later, I don't hear anything. So on the third week, what he did, because this was a mutual friend who was a realtor, he said to her, I have a property. It's a 3-family property on the corner of Broadway and 33rd Street. This is in New Jersey. He said, ask them if they'd like to take a look at it. I said, I really don't want to, but let me go take a look at it anyway. So we took a look at, there were 7 rooms on the first floor with 3 bedrooms, 7 rooms on the second floor with 3 bedrooms, 4 rooms on the third floor with 2 bedrooms, plus a finished basement with a kitchen and an office in the basement. Now, in 1987, we purchased that. one particular property with for $90,000, interest rates 9%.
Mhm.
However, because we were first-time home buyers, and today you would call that house hacking. We were first-time home buyers, therefore we only had to put 4% down. Although we had saved 20%, we only had to put 4% down, and all of our closing costs were paid. So we kept that property. Remember, I said the interest rates were 9%. We refinanced that one property 4 times, taking money, refinancing and taking cash out every single time. Sold that property in 2005 for $415,000, gave the seller $15,000 in seller help, put a $3,000 furnace, and still made over a $250,000 profit. So where else can you do that within this country? But you also have to remember, what year did I say I started? 1987. So that was the beginning of our real estate career. And we were advocates of reading Forbes magazine, money magazines. And so as a result, Andrew Carnegie said, 90% of millionaires obtain their wealth from real estate. And so that was the beginning of our real estate. That very same year, we bought 3 other duplexes because of that 20% that we had. And at that time, we only had to put 10% down on each of those properties. And that began our real estate career.
Yeah, and I want to pause for a second so the audience understands. First, that was a multi-family home, meaning you were able to rent it out because of the different floors and the bedrooms and such, correct?
Absolutely. And we took the second floor ourselves. So we
Yes,
had the 3rd floor and we had the 1st floor. And of course, they paid our mortgage. So our
absolutely.
mortgage was paid in full.
And
So
interest rates were higher then than they are today. So stop complaining about interest rates.
that's
because
what I tell people, that's what I tell my students even today.
Yes. And when you did that refinance and you took that cash out of the property, that's not a taxable event, but I'm sure you took that money and invested it in another property, correct?
Absolutely. We took the money and invested it in 3 additional properties. And that is the difference between flipping and refinancing. And that's what I say to my students. Some of the monies that you're making on flipping, $25,000 and $30,000, I could gain, and I would take out an average of anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000 worth of properties that I buy, if you buy them right. And that is the key to buying. When I say to them, you want to buy with equity already in there, you want to buy right. And so we're able to do that, and that's tax-free. Whereas if you're flipping properties, then you have to pay capital gains, either long-term or short-term capital gains, depending upon how long you're holding that property.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a better way to grow your wealth quicker by utilizing that strategy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And one of the other things I love about what you teach is the kitty investing. Talk a little bit more about what that is.
Now, as we all know, I don't know about you, but my parents never sat down to the table to talk about, first of all, setting financial goals. I never knew even how much they even earned on an annual basis. They didn't save anything. And really, when I think about it, Daddy really had a good job at DuPont. So they should have owned their own properties. In addition to that, he was a veteran, but he never took advantage of VA loans, where right now you can get 0 month, 0 down as a veteran. And you can do that over and over and over again. So what I'm doing is now with children from as young as 6 years old, I'm teaching them, number one, how to set goals, how they can even save and not necessarily have to be in real estate. But what you can do, you can start buying fractional shares of stocks, even your Cash App and your Acorns. With only $5 a month, you can start buying stocks. We taught our son at the age of 13 years old entrepreneurship as well. At the age of 13, we started him buying Walmart stock with dollar cost averaging. In other words, what you can buy 1 share of stock from the company directly, and then what you can do each and every single month you can send them the same amount of money. And we were had him sending $25 a month every single month up until he got to his college age. So as a result of that, he was on several shows as well. So I'm trying to teach the exact same thing, financial literacy, to our younger children, especially to African Americans. But because what I find is in terms of investing, we are so behind, even behind the Hispanics right now. And it's because of not being exposed. So, once we know, we have to do it, and we have to teach better.
Yeah, lack of education. And it could be something fun that the parents do with the children, if they're paying them for chores, or maybe the kids get a side job babysitting, or, cutting lawn, then they can put the money into their app and start buying stock, which wasn't available to us when we were younger, and nor could we buy a fraction of a stock like they can today. So it could be a great activity that parents can do with their children, and teaching them about money while having the kid hopefully, see that money grow too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So another aspect of kind of what you're teaching that I love is, I hear this from people, is that they're too old to start investing in real estate. That's past. That's for the younger generation. How do you feel about when people have that objection?
Oh, absolutely. You're never too old. Let me say to you, I am 68 years old. I'll be 69 in June. And really, we've just hit our stride within the last 10 years. I retired from Verizon at the age of 50. And we actually paid a consultant about $40,000 to determine, what we would do after that. And I said to my husband, he told me, because I was with Verizon, well, maybe you should try telecommunications. I said, but that's too capital intensive. So I said to my husband, I said, we just wasted $40,000. We could have purchased another home. So let's just continue to do what we have been doing. You're never too old. As a matter of fact, my target audience is women between 25 and 65 year olds in metropolitan urban area, because, I don't think that we realize, especially with women. Do you know when it was that we can obtain a mortgage, a loan?
Mhm.
That was 1974. So
Mhm.
you're never too old to start, as long as you have the commitment, the dedication, and you really want to learn. You're never too old to learn. And it's always, and I say it's always too soon to quit. So if it's something that you're truly interested in, I mean, you can learn it. And it's very easy to learn it as well. And provided that you're going to copy the right cat and get and obtain the right mentor and coach.
Yeah, very important. Why do you think you're so passionate about teaching investing?
First of all, I see so many of us, especially, as I said, women, especially in divorce. I have two daughters that will probably never get married. They're 49 and 50 years old. So they're not married. My son is not married as of yet. And I'm a Christian, and I mentor young women in my church. Quite a few of them, medical doctors, they're in their 40s and 50s. They're not married. So we need to be able to take care of ourselves. And then the divorce rate is high. It's gone down a little bit, but how many divorcees have you spoken to? They don't even know how to balance a checking account. They don't know what the husbands had in there. So I say that even if you get, I love him. And I have to say, we don't have any money issues whatsoever, but it's always good to have your own and be able to account for it. God forbid if he goes before you, if you are to give it, you need to know where everything lies.
Mhm. Yeah. What other objections do you hear often when people are talking to you about investing in real estate?
Of course, the first one is access to capital. I don't have the money. But here's what I say. When I look at the nails that you're getting done every single week, when I look at the makeup that you have on, some of you go get beauty parlors, some of the clothing that you wear. As a matter of fact, I've done 2 books. My solo book is going to be Purses, Heels, Houses, You Choose. And
Hmm.
when I look at some of the clothing that you're putting on your baby's feet, you're paying $200 and $300 for Nikes. I had a nephew one time. I mean, whenever it came out with a new sneaker, he was online 6 o'clock in the morning. He
Hmm.
showed me all of his Nike sneakers, all of the Nike jerseys that were brand new. So I said to him, Miguel, let me say something to you. What you need to do is you need to own a part of Nike. You need to buying stock in Nike or buying stock in some of the things that were purses, $1,700 and $2,000. Look, I'm a multimillionaire. I get my nails done once a month. I get my hair done once a month. I absolutely love shoes, purses, and heels, but I bargain shop them, and I allow my assets to pay for all of those things.
Mhm.
And they can do as well. So that's what I like to, and it's our priorities. So I want our priorities to be, look, let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our community. Let's take care of one another. And we can't do that if we don't have the access to do those things, if we don't have the finances to do those things. We shouldn't be looking to other folks or the government to take care of ourselves when we can do that ourselves. So that's where my passion lies. And
Yes.
for me, I want to pass the torch. I want continuity between the next generation and the next generation so that we can just have things, create that generational wealth. And even if we don't want to pass it along, even if we want to donate it, I have a goal to give my church alone $1 million. So, I mean, we can do those things. And that's what real estate, investing, entrepreneurship, that's what all that does for you.
Very nice. Janet, I have a fun question for you to switch things up a little bit. If you could pick a superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. If I could choose a superpower, is that, I'm a servant at heart. If I could just serve the entire community, and I realize that everyone cannot be helped, but if I could just change the mindset, especially when it comes to African Americans, and so that we can be more cohesive, and especially in terms of financing, and that we can create a better world and a better opportunity for ourselves and for others. That would be my superpower. I would fly around the world and just touch everybody and allow them to be servants and givers as well.
Great answer. Janet, if our audience wants to get in touch with you, learn more about you, what you're doing, your coaching, your books, how do they reach you?
They can reach me at janet@thecashflowdiva.com, or I'm on Facebook, Janet Tonkins, the Cashflow Diva, Instagram, Janet Tonkins, the Cashflow Diva, and on LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Janet, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. I truly enjoyed this, Angela.
Thank you so much for tuning into Empower Her Money podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast, and leave a review wherever you are tuning in.